everybody. This is podcast number 10, and it's me and my dad. So today I'm going to talk about 3 things.
You can talk about 3 things? Okay, cool. I was like, man, I'm going to let him take over this thing today.
4th thing.
4th thing. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. You did good, bro. I like that little intro. So welcome back once again to Here for the Dads podcast. It's your boy, Meyer. And as you can tell already, we got some special guests with us. We have my oldest son. What's your name, dog? Azai. He's actually the third, so if you want, you can call him Meyer, son of Crawl. Third of his name from the land of Norfolk. And even better...
From the land of Norfolk.
You like that, from the land of Norfolk?
Awesome.
And even better than just having 2 people on this podcast, we done looped in my homie once again, Uncle Sony, Mr. Sony. You call him DJ, Soundman, whatever you want to call him. He's back in the building once again. What's going on, Sony?
What's up, bro?
How you been, dog?
Oh, man, I've been busy.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and start talking about that. I don't have any specific topics that I want to talk about today, besides the fact that I want to be able to spread a little love to my son and get him here, seeing exactly what we do. And we always talk about how we wish we could speak more to our dads about some of the things maybe they feared and communicate and explain some more stuff. That's what we're going to be doing today. But before we even get started on that, please tell the people what you've been busy doing.
Yeah, man. So, by the way, Sony Pierre. I'm a sound engineer, videographer, photographer, you call it. We are in the studio. But one of the things is we've been very busy because we got 3 new foster kids
3
in our home, right? We're registered foster parents for the 757 area.
Okay.
They came into our care the beginning of last week. And literally, the way this system works is you'll literally get a phone call like the morning of, and within 4 to 6 hours, your house could have been 0, your house could have been 1, but whatever the addition is coming, it's coming hot and heavy, right?
Jeez.
So we went from a household of 1 to 4.
Jeez. Now, what are the ages of the kids? Actually, first, Azai, do you know what a foster kid is? You know what foster care is? Can you explain a little bit to Azai what foster care is?
Yeah, so foster care, Azai, is pretty much, it's when children under the age of 18, right? So if you're 18 or younger, you have to be cared for by a mommy and daddy, like your mommy and daddy, right? Someone needs to watch them, right? So not everybody has a mommy and daddy like yours, and they need assistance, right? So the government created a system where other mommy and daddies can open up their house to little boys and girls like yourself, so they can have a warm bed to sleep in, food to eat in, and pretty much get taken care of just like your mom and dad takes care of you, right? So that's what me and Auntie Sam does now. So you met Valerie, right? You know who Valerie is. So, but now we have Asia in our house.
How old is Asia?
Asia's 3.
Okay.
Right? Accompanying Asia is her twin brother.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then accompanying them is their oldest sister, who's 4, Ashanti.
Wow.
Right?
So you got 4 under 5 now, though.
Yeah, yep. 4 under 5.
Jeez, yeah, that's making moves. We were 4 under 5 for a little bit, so I could definitely give you some tips. We can talk about that for some time. But what do you think about that, Azai? Isn't it cool that they get a chance to help out a little bit and take care of some other kids? Mm-hmm. You like that?
Yes.
All right, so I got a question for you. Because this is your, I guess, second time in the studio now, and you kind of understand what Daddy does when he leaves on Sundays and does this podcast. What do you think me and other dads talk about when we're in here?
They talk about what you do.
What I do?
Yes, what you do When you're an adult.
When I'm an adult and as a dad. That's kind of right. I mean, we talk about dad stuff a lot in here. What else do you think we talk about? What do dads talk about?
Dads talk about, Dads talk about a lot of stuff.
Okay, I think that's right. I think we talk about a lot of stuff. There's also a lot of stuff we don't talk about, and that's the reason why we even have this podcast. What does being a daddy mean to you?
It means, to me, it means like I have kids and all that stuff.
Okay. You got kids and all that stuff?
Yes.
You look like you're a little sleepy. Yeah. Everybody knows if you're a parent, right, you already know exactly what your kid looks like when they're starting to go to sleep. Usually on Sundays, right after church, what's the first thing we do?
Take a nap.
Take a nap. And we are skipping nap time. What's y'all's nap time, Sony?
Right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Probably the first thing I do when I go to the crib is knock out and go to sleep. But that's funny. That's the first thing I'm probably gonna do. Yeah, he's definitely a sleepy dude right now.
Now, do you take a nap as well when they all take a nap?
To be honest, most of the time I don't. I'm not a big nap person. I get like that FOMO, the fear of missing out, and I don't ever want to take a nap.
Not either.
Yeah, he doesn't like to miss out on stuff. Half the time,
I normally don't take any naps
he
anymore.
takes his rest time. Like he has quit the nap phase. That's probably one of the saddest things. Like when you get the child that reaches the age where they don't want to take a nap anymore, you kind of lose that time because normally when they're taking a nap, that's when I get my time. We sit down, watch Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders, like the big one that we're watching right now. Clean up a little bit.
What's that?
Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Oh, dog. It's we'll put it like this. They can't watch it.
Okay.
It's essentially a gangster who I think they're like in London or something like that. But my boy DJ put me on, and it's pretty good. Me and the wife watch it. But he's a gangster coming up from the lowly lands of just selling, small stuff I can't talk about on here, but small stuff to now he's trying to get legit, and it's getting harder for him. It's pretty good, though. They got some history in there.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But we try to watch the stuff that they normally can't see.
Right.
That's what we're doing. But today you know what I really want to do? I think about this all the time. You know, my dad and I, we had a decent relationship, but we didn't talk a lot. Sometimes I didn't ask him the questions that I really wanted to ask him all the time. Maybe because maybe I didn't know what questions to ask. Maybe sometimes I was a little scared. Sometimes I didn't even tell him what I was feeling. But in speaking to my other friends that are dads, we decided that we were going to speak to you guys, our kids, a little bit more to tell you guys what's on our minds and stuff like that. Because sometimes maybe when you get in trouble or daddy takes your game, you get really upset, right? And you don't know why. Sometimes I don't do the best at explaining to you why. And I said I'm going to do a better job at that. Right. So let's start off with maybe you ask me a question. What's a question you maybe always wanted to ask me?
I always wanted to ask you, what is your favorite Mario character?
My favorite Mario character?
Yes.
Can I choose Donkey Kong? Is that like within the Super Mario world? Can I choose that?
They only have 4 characters inside the Mario world, but you can pick Donkey Kong.
I'm going to tell you why I like Donkey Kong. Well, for me, he's big, he's strong, and
That's Avery's favorite character.
And that's Avery's favorite character. He's big, he's strong, and he's a daddy. How many daddies do you know in the Super Mario world?
I know all of them.
How many daddies are there? What daddies are there?
Donkey Kong is older than Mario.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Donkey Kong is like...
But is he a daddy? That's what we're trying to find out. Is Donkey Kong a daddy? Yes. Diddy Kong, I think, is his son. Who's another daddy that's in the Super Mario world?
Bowser.
Bowser. Now, are they good daddies? Why not?
Bowser is not a good daddy, but Donkey Kong is.
Why is he a bad daddy? What makes a bad daddy?
Doing what you're not supposed to do. And being bad. And doing bad stuff sometimes.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. You're supposed to take care of your kids and make them feel safe and teach them about stuff. Is there times where you don't feel...
Bowser has plenty of kids.
He do?
Yeah.
You think
Goopa
maybe?
Troopas are always kids. Goopas.
Do you play Mario? Bro, Mario and Sonic is his thing, dog. If you can't tell.
Nah, I know who Mario and Luigi is. Everybody else, I'm lost.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give you a whole nother episode so we can talk about Mario and Sonic at another time. But what I do want to know, because we talked about what dads are supposed to teach our kids and what we're supposed to do to help you keep safe, like stay safe and stuff like that.
Yes.
Can you maybe tell me a time where you just felt afraid and daddy helped you, or you needed daddy's help?
I needed your help the last night because I was trying to last time I was trying to learn how to think and I was too scared.
You were trying to think about something. What were you trying to think about?
I was trying to think about getting Super Mario Maker 2, but I didn't have enough money.
So what happened was yesterday so this is a little pro tip for some of the people. I talked to DJ about it yesterday. Something that I like to do. He don't even know it's the reason. It's a couple free little, I guess, tips and tricks. There are days, especially the rainy days, where we just don't feel like going out sometimes.
Amen.
Or we just don't feel like spending a whole bunch of money. So
Amen.
the little things that I keep in my pocket, instead of going to the zoo, I put them in the car. We go to PetSmart. That's our thing.
Yo!
We go look at the fishes. We go see the reptiles. Sometimes they got bunnies or even puppy training. I'm telling you, it helps every time. But yesterday, what we decided to do, instead of going to Dave & Buster's and spending money at Chuck E. Cheese, where did we go?
We went to GameStop.
GameStop, because GameStop is free. We went and played games at GameStop, looked at stuff. It was dope, bro. It was dope.
I was trying to get Super Mario Maker 2, but I couldn't because I didn't have my all my money inside my piggy bank all the way, but I'm so close.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is probably a dad hack.
Oh yeah,
That's the biggest dad hack I've like. You're gonna win an award for that one.
Yeah, dog. That job be saving the game. And we got one right by the crib too. So I'm telling you, it's super easy. The only other dad hack I got, that's not really a dad hack because not everybody has that, is my Little Caesars. Little Caesars has come a long way. The one by the crib is a drive-through. So I don't even order no pizza. When we just get tired, I just drive on up and I just say, hey, what y'all got ready? We toss a pizza in there and we go straight to the crib. But let's get back to GameStop. So we went, and I've been talking to him about different ways to make money because he has a piggy bank that I won't let him spend any money out of it until he fills it up. So yesterday you wanted a game that I felt was a little bit too hard for you. And how did you feel when I told you no?
I felt sad.
Sad, right? You were a little frustrated?
Yes.
So what did you do to maybe make yourself feel better? Do you understand why Daddy wouldn't allow you to get the game?
Because my piggy bank wasn't filled up, and you wouldn't let me get it because you don't want to buy it anymore. So I have to fill up my piggy bank and then use all my money and then do it again because you're not buying me no more games from GameStop anymore.
Is that?
He said that with some emotion.
Yeah, I think he really felt that one. To translate, I told him I was not gonna buy you another game that you put over to the side and not play. I bought you Mario Odyssey. I bought him a nice Sonic game. I bought him a whole bunch of just games that cost a lot of money that he plays for maybe 1 or 2 days and then doesn't play anymore. And it's normally because it's a little bit too hard for him. So I told him if he wanted a game that would either need to make the money himself or he needed to fill his piggy bank up. What ways did I tell you that you could possibly make some money?
I can make some money by getting home and cleaning crafts up by our house.
Yep.
And if I clean up the garage one time, I get $5.
You see that? Real easy. But
if I get money from somewhere, it will be an easier way, right?
Yeah.
It will be the easiest way for me.
It would be the easiest way. Now, let me tell you something, though. You're not the only person that gets sad and frustrated sometimes. You know, Mommy and Daddy and Mr. Sony, we get sad and frustrated sometimes, too?
Yes.
What do you think makes us...
Everybody gets frustrated.
Everybody gets frustrated. What are some maybe tools that you could use when you're sad or frustrated that might help you feel better?
So the tools that I need is a marker.
Okay, so I shouldn't have said tools. I realize he is very, very literal. So what things do you do?
Else.
What things do you do to make yourself feel better when you're sad or frustrated?
So sometimes I want to do activities, so I never did it before. So if I get frustrated, I'm going to do activity. So I need crayons,
Okay.
paper, glue, and paint.
And paint. And that helps you calm down, right?
And I need a plate
And a plate.
and scissors.
So what you just basically told me was that you do something to take your mind off of whatever is frustrating you. It gives you time to chill out, relax, and think about something else. Can I show you something that daddies sometimes do?
Yes.
So you just talked about a task for you that's sometimes hard because it's new. Me and Uncle Sony, we always sit in here and we talk about this new task of being a dad. I've never been a dad before. You are my first child. Although I have 4 kids, this is something I've never, ever done. So at times when I'm trying to teach you something or show you something, I get a little frustrated because I don't know how to do it, or I didn't either learn it from somewhere else. So what you just showed me is that sometimes I need to take my mind off whatever it is that I'm doing, maybe go play some basketball, maybe play a game, maybe take a walk or talk to my friends, right?
Or maybe you can take a break and practice the hard stuff on Mario Stripers so you can be happy and we can beat them up, and then if we have another one and we can do it all over again after we practice a while again.
Yep, we could do it just like that. So for daddies, sometimes it might seem like things are easy, but it's not always easy because I've never been a dad before. Listen to Uncle Sonny, he's going to tell you something too.
Yeah, I mean, so, and you know what's funny? I was just talking to Valerie about learning how to understand her emotions, right? And this goes back to a couple episodes wishing that like our parents understood to kind of slow down and understand.
It's not easy
But
sometimes.
It's not easy because once we're in the moment of that anger or whatever, we want to give an immediate correction.
Yeah.
But then most likely, I know myself, I'm probably going to do what I did wrong over again because I don't know what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. So I tell Valerie, like, hey, here's what you did that you shouldn't have done, and here's what's going to happen, right? And then going forward, now she knows what not to do, right? So I think, and your parents are the same way. We always want to just make sure that you understand that we understand how you feel. If it's frustrated, if it's sad, if it's angering you, we understand, right? And we want to make sure you understand why you allowed it to anger you, right? So next time, let's say you're playing a Super Mario game and you just can't beat that level, right? But next time, instead of, let's say, throwing the remote control. Man, I used to break so many PS1 remote controls.
You was one of those kids?
Yeah. But now, you'll probably walk away and go get a juice box from the fridge, cool down a little bit, see what mommy and daddy's doing, and then go back. And then, since you kind of like cooled down and you're chilling, you're going to beat that level, right?
Yes.
And then that's the same way that you just applied that to a game. You're going to get into apply to soccer, apply to homework, all of that, right? So hopefully I gave you insight on my brain.
You understand that?
Yes.
Cool. So let's see. I just asked you a question. So Now it's your turn. I know you and Mommy talked about a few questions that you wanted to ask Daddy. Do you remember some of those questions?
I got a new question now.
Okay.
You got a new question.
Talk to me.
What is your favorite Crash Bandicoot character?
My favorite Crash Bandicoot character. To be honest with you, I don't know half the names of the characters on Crash Bandicoot, so I'm gonna say Crash. That's my favorite. What about yours?
It's
I know Crash.
Bandicoot.
I know Crash and I know Tiny. That's it. Who's your favorite?
My favorite is Crash Bandicoot and the last boss and...
Nope, you only get to do one. You said favorite.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
I'm going to say Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. This is my question to you. What is something that you wish that Daddy did more with you?
I wish we would practice Mario Strikers more with you.
Mario Strikers. I do like that game. It's the soccer game, right?
Yes.
So I'll make sure I pay attention a little bit and get a chance to slow down and just play the game. What do you think Val would say if she had a chance to say something that she would like to do more with you?
She would probably she is a human teddy bear.
Okay.
And loves to cuddle. Mm-hmm. She would probably say just sitting down, cuddling, watching Paw Patrol.
Just relaxing and chilling, just getting some time to be around Daddy, right?
Yeah.
There was something cool that I saw on a video or meme. I'm going to try it out on you, but I don't know if it's going to work like that. It probably will. But Tiana sent it to me, and we had a conversation about presence and presence. Let's see. How old are you, Azai?
5.
5 years old. Do you remember what you did for your birthday?
No.
You don't remember what you did for your birthday?
No.
You remember, what's your birthday? When is your birthday?
January 12th.
January 12th. You don't remember where you went?
I went to David Buster's.
Dave and Buster's. Do you remember who was there?
CK and Caleb.
Yeah, you see that smile he got on his face right there? Did you have a lot of fun, bro?
Yes.
All right, now I'm asking you another question.
I didn't want to leave.
You didn't even want to leave, right? We had a blast. Let me ask you something else then. Do you remember what you really asked for, what present you really asked for that Mommy and Daddy got you? See? So in the video, the guy had 2 different kids, different ages, and he asked them, do you remember your birthday from last year or the year before that? They remembered everything they did. They remember all the stuff. They remember everything they did. They remember all the people that were with them. They remember the moments was the biggest part. When they asked them, do you remember what your parents got you? They never remember. They didn't remember any of the presents. They didn't remember any of the toys, any of the video games. And that just like turned a light on for me because I realized that just being present sometimes in the moment as the parents and the kids is probably the biggest gift that you can give to anybody. And that's why you talking about just being there, playing video games with Daddy or just getting a chance to cuddle. It's like something I think we overlook all the time.
Like, call Super Mario Brothers. If you don't know their phone number, I can tell you. So, right now, you want me to tell you? Okay, I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
What's the number?
It's 929 556 2746.
2746.
Yeah, I heard that.
So yeah, getting a chance to slow down a little bit and just spend time with your kids is probably the biggest gift. A lot of times growing up, we think about the things we didn't have and we always want to give it to our kids. When they regurgitate back to us what meant the most to them, it was the fact that we were present over the presence.
And you know what?
And that's what it means.
You know what's another thing, and I don't know if Azai or Avery does this, but if after Val comes from daycare and we don't give her at least 15 minutes of our undivided attention to her, she would act out, right? So we've noticed that, like, literally we would just sit down and make sure that we are present.
Yeah.
We are attentive to her. If she wants to play, if she just wants to sit down and watch a show real quick, we do that. And then once she on her own, kind of like literally every time after 15 to 20 minutes, she'll walk off and start doing her own thing, right? And then she's straight. But let's say you come home and you go straight into cooking.
Yeah.
Forget it.
She want her time and attention.
She wants her time and attention. And she was like that literally since like 1.5.
How long did it take y'all to like realize like that and to get to know that's like what she needed?
I mean, you know, mom's a pro.
Oh, yeah.
So she literally sat down to me and said, hey, I think if you're the one picking her up from school and you're home with her first, here's what I've been noticing. You should probably, especially me, right? Because once I get home, my first thing to do is plug one of these cameras into the computer and offload whatever data I just did for work, right? So, but she was like, hey, give her 15 to 20 minutes. It ain't going to change the duration of time when your client's going to get their end result. I was like, all right, you got a point.
What's so funny?
Hey, what's so funny? What's so funny?
Bro, he is so sleepy right now. Kids just get delirious when they get tired, bro. Like Avery, when he gets sleepy, dude will do literally anything. Like he'll take all the couch cushions off the couch,
and he will like take all the pillows, like he will slap them off. And he will like cry.
He'll start flipping over his head, right? And
and sometimes when he's tired, he gets a Yoshi ride. Or if he meets a break, he'll get a Yoshi ride.
What's a Yoshi ride?
So remember when I get on the ground like standing still, and I'm like a baby crawling, and he gets on top of me, and then I stand up.
You play Yoshi and he rides on your back. He likes that, doesn't he?
I do that. And then I fall down on the couch, and then I say, Yoshi me break and Yoshi me mat. And when I say, no, Yoshi me nap, guess what? He hits me, and then I said, Yoshi me nap.
Okay, yeah, we're going to get you a nap here.
And then if he does it again, I'm going to say again, Yoshi me nap.
That's
even louder.
That's absolutely true. I love our kids.
Yeah, me too. Man, I can't wait to meet the new three.
Oh, bro, I can't wait too.
So help me out, right? I think we were briefly talking about this while we were setting up. I don't like the word foster daughter or foster son. Like when you're introducing them.
Yeah.
Like, because we went to a baby shower with all four of them, and someone asked, which is cool. Like, I mean, I don't even know what to really call them, but when they ask, like, hey, who's which one's your foster kids and which one's your like
biological, whatever? Yeah.
And I was like, we answered them, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't like that title.
Yeah.
Oh, you
gonna think and give them like a cool new name or something? I know I've heard a lot of times people instead of saying like father-in-law or mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they just say like in love or something like that. I guess you can find one of the cool like type nicknames to give them or something like that, because you don't want them to feel excluded or anything like that. I know it's something I've never had to deal with before. Yeah. It's interesting.
So Troy, he actually is picking up. Val calls me dad, so Troy started calling me dad.
Oh, that's what's up.
I think I'm just gonna, cause I think whatever I call them, that's not what I call Valerie. It's still gonna make them feel out of sync. So I'm thinking like, hey, when we out and about, hey, these my kids.
Cause that's what it's gonna get to.
That's what it is, right? So I know, and so so Azai. So here's the tricky part about the whole the whole fostering, right?
Yeah.
When you meet them, there might be, when you go to a new school, or when you go to Sunday school, you might see new friends, but then next week you might not see them.
Yeah.
We also talked to Valerie about, hey, sometimes your new friends may have to go to kind of like another school or another church, right?
Yes.
So I'm preparing you so you're not confused, right? So that's another thing about fostering. Now, here's a cool part. There might come a time where right now the 3 new kids that we're fostering, if it's presented right and God says, hey, I want you to give these 3 kids your last name, then it's something called adoption.
So that's when it switches over, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. You've heard that before, adoption? No. You haven't heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So adoption is pretty. So fostering is kind of like a long sleepover, right?
Yeah.
Adoption is
Like something wrong?
no. They're staying.
That means now
They're part of the family.
Now you have a new mommy and a new daddy. I think the coolest part about like you fostering them now and getting a chance to just spend time with them is gonna be like learning them, because every child, once they, even like in the newborn stage, you kind of start getting bits and pieces of who they are and kind of like understanding their personality. I think right now you have those ages where their personality is like really blossoming and like really understanding the things that they like and they want. And I'm even like right now in this stage with.
It's how it works.
I'm in this stage right now, even with Azai, like understanding. I know what he likes now, but a lot of times I don't know a lot like what he's afraid of, like, because although he can speak, he's not necessarily elaborating on a lot of things that maybe scares him, or he doesn't know the reason why he does some of the things he does. Some days he may come home just a little bit more sensitive or emotional than he would on the day before, and I have to ask him, and I sometimes have to pry it out of him. So the other day, I remember at nighttime you were a little afraid of just a few things in your room, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Do you remember what you were afraid of that one night? What were you talking to mommy about?
I was talking.
Talking to the mic right here, baby.
I was talking to like I was scared because I thought somebody would take me away, or fire was out of my house, or if there was a volcano, or if there was a tornado. That's what I was scared of.
Yeah, so sometimes for me, the hardest thing is I don't know when that stuff's going to pop up. Like this would be right before I'm putting them down to go to sleep. Next thing you know, the question pops up, Daddy, what if there's a volcano that erupts? Or what if, there's a storm or a flood that just takes our house away? Or what if, somebody tries to come in here and take me away? Do you remember the conversation that we had about what things we use to keep us safe in the house so that nobody won't come and take you away?
So we have a camera outside the house that can watch if somebody's coming to take us, and
What else
mommy
do
and
we
daddy
do?
can see them.
What else do
And
we
they
do?
can't see them.
What else do we do in the house to keep us safe?
We close the blinds and we close the windows. We lock the doors. We lock the windows.
And what's the probably the best thing that we can do before we go to sleep that really helps us?
Pray.
Pray. And that's one thing we do every single night. Daddy prays all through the day. He prays all through the night. Sometimes while you're sleeping, Daddy will come in there and pray for you, because although I have to take care of you and that I want to make sure I keep you safe, there are some things that I don't have control over. There's some things that I don't know that you'll have on your mind and that you'll think about, but I have to be ready and prepared to either explain them to you or make sure that you stay safe, right? Yeah. What do we do every single night before we go to sleep? What does it sound like? You got right here in the mic. What do we say?
We say our prayers.
Can you do the prayers for me real quick?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Lord, for this day, for my wife. health and strength. Take it for my family, take it for my friends. In Jesus' name, amen.
Yeah, cool. Now, what comes after that?
Affirmation.
Affirmations. You want to do it with me?
Yes.
Well, I'll say I am, and then you say it, okay? I am.
Brave.
I am.
Smart.
I am.
Strong.
I am.
Handsome.
I am.
Wise.
I am.
A king.
And
Jesus loves me.
and Jesus loves me. Good job, bro.
That's awesome.
No matter how young they are, sometimes just having a repetition, I realize that it just sticks, bro.
That's all. Yeah, I mean, especially being a girl dad, that's something that we do, and I make sure, like, the affirmations, like, I am beautiful, I am smart,
Yeah.
I am in control, right? Another thing that we're in the stage of teaching value, I think, because we live in a crazy world, I mean, there's things that we're even teaching them now. Like, I don't know how you feel about this, but actually, no, I do know how. You
what's up?
talked about it during dinner.
What's that?
Like, even making sure they understand what the names of the private parts.
Yes, this is something we actually definitely need to talk about, because it's hard sometimes for us, for some reason, to have that conversation,
Yeah.
but it's something we need to do.
You know, like, especially with my wife's background, because.
And for the people, tell them your wife's background.
Yeah, so my wife's she's a caseworker for the foster care system.
Okay, so like is that kind of like a lot of social work?
A lot of, there we go.
Okay.
Better said, social work, right? So there's times in the court system that these kids only know things that's no square and stuff like that.
Yeah, the nicknames for everything.
Right. And that
Mummy.
and that will let that case drop.
Because they can't do nothing more with it, basically.
Correct. Versus now making sure they know what it is. So we're just to bring this back on track with the affirmation, making sure that Valerie knows, like, no, I am in control. Right?
That's good, yeah.
All right. So I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah, I mean, now let's rewind. I have a good question for you. 'Cause, you're in the military.
Azai, I want you to listen to this question and see if you can answer it for me, too.
And I don't know, I'm probably going to come to you when it comes time, but you know how to handle weapons, right? And I even have folks on social media who are teaching the youth at a very young age how to understand how to utilize that for protection as well.
Okay.
Right? So I personally am in the middle, and maybe you can help me because you have the same Christian background and all of that. Like what should I look into or consider having that type of level of safetyness for the youth in the home? And that's question one.
Yeah.
And question two, are you educating the youth? Maybe not even how to use it yet.
Yeah, but what it is.
What it is and what is the purpose for it, right? Because you're in the military, so I automatically, in my brain, I put
Think
a stamp.
like, yeah.
I stamped that like, yo, if there's anybody I need to ask that question to.
So I think right now, the conversation around like firearms and guns and gun control is like a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like the running controls at GameStop.
it's a very sensitive topic, and you got to make sure you listen, because I think this is going to be good for you too to listen to.
But my tooth is about to come out.
Okay, we'll take care of that right after this.
Yeah.
But it's a very sensitive topic. They talk about it in politics. They talk about everywhere. But I think sometimes just because something is sensitive doesn't mean that we should just stop talking about it. And for us who are dads, husbands, in a role where we are protecting people, it's something that we need to talk about, seriously. Me growing up, I don't know how your parents were, but I think it was maybe just growing up, being a young black male. Was like one of the things that my mom was like really afraid of. I wasn't allowed to play with any like water guns. I wasn't allowed to like have any Nerf guns or anything like that. What I think is funny now, well, not funny, but the perspective switched when I went from that to getting a little bit older, maybe in a teenage age, going hunting and stuff, and then joining the military where I'm really learning how to utilize firearms for protection. As me and my wife kind of talk about how we're going to handle, the safety of our home, it's something that we have been heavily trained in. So we feel comfortable, having a weapon in the home. But there's also other things that we've gotten training to do and understanding what maybe like a deadly force continuum looks like, or like a deadly force triangle, which is having opportunity, capability, and intent, which we could talk about offline. Basically what I'm trying to say is we know other methods that would also keep us safe than going straight to a weapon. And I think sometimes some people, that's the first idea that they have. As soon as they feel unsafe, they go straight to the weapon. And that's usually where we have a problem. Now, when it comes to our youth, I think right now the conversation we're having is that we believe it's important for them to understand what it is, to understand how powerful it is, and to understand later when you will need to use it. But at this age right now, especially him being 5, and I think even a little bit older than this, I want him to be able to understand other tools and resources that he could have to learn how to protect himself and to make himself feel safe. Because if that weapon, that tool is the only thing that makes himself feel safe, when he doesn't have it, we got an issue. We put him in Taekwondo, we do affirmations, and we talk about how you can communicate with somebody even when you're disagreeing with them. And I know that's kind of a lot, but that's just been the conversation that we've been having, and it's not always easy. I'm fine with buying them water guns. I'm fine with buying them Nerf guns, but slightly, I'm sometimes talking to him about never point this at anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is powerful. I'm like giving him those little clues that might be, maybe more geared to an actual firearm. But as time goes on, we'll probably start teaching him that. As laws start changing, we'll see how much control we have over that as well.
And we could probably get into this in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
But have you had that? So this is kind of segueing, but also still on track. So have you had that conversation that when's the right time to have the conversation with our youth that's a minority? Right?
Yeah.
So I don't you don't gotta go into that deep detail, but we can definitely pick back up on it on the season 2. But just to keep it short, is he at that age for that yet? Or
I think sometimes I think at times I've actually gotten forced into the conversation. Okay. And the reason why I say this is because video games.
Wait, I can't talk right now.
Because you're tired? Video games, I think, is the first thing that kind of forced me into having a conversation with him. And at first, I've kept it pretty broad. We haven't spoke about minorities or anything. Do you have any games that you play that has maybe guns in it or anything like that? Or that you've seen?
No.
No. So the games that we're trying to control or make sure he has seen.
But I think there's a game I think it's like Destiny.
Yeah. So normally right now is all the games that he's seen is like Mario, Sonic, the rated E stuff, right? But now,
Bandicoot.
as he's gotten older, he's seen me play a few games. So I try to keep the games that I'm playing normally to Halo, Destiny's, where the person on the other side is an alien or something like that. But as he's seeing it, he's asking me why are you shooting this? Or isn't that a gun or a weapon? And we start talking about bad guys and stuff like that. So right now, hold on. Right now I'm keeping it.
What guns?
What's that?
So it's the game that you got from Game Pass and Destiny.
Yep, it's Halo and Destiny. But I've kept it general so far.
Hold on. Games I don't know now.
Hold on. Right now I've kept it general. We just talk about good guys, bad guys, and why you would even need it. Mm-hmm. And I think later down the road, we'll start maybe having a conversation about why someone may perceive you to be doing or to be a bad person or this and that. We haven't really gotten to it too much. And we'll definitely talk about that in another episode. I'll make sure I write that down because I think that's good stuff. That's good. But I do got some more stuff for Azai because I realize that he's probably not as engaged right now. He's listening, but he's not listening. Yeah. You ready for me to ask you some questions?
Yeah.
Because I want to get to know you a little bit more. I wrote a few of them down. You might think some of them are kind of weird, but let's see. If you could draw what's going on in your head right now, what would you be drawing?
I would be drawing...
Speak into the mic right here.
I would be drawing something that I think that was inside my hair.
Okay, so you'll be drawing about your hair. Let's see what else we got. If your stuffed animal could talk, what would it say?
It would say, I would make a show.
You make a show? What kind of stuffed animal? Which stuffed animal is your favorite?
My favorite stuffed animal is a hedgehog. A blue hedgehog.
All right, let's see. What do you think you're going to dream about tonight?
Tonight, I think I'm going to dream about Mario, Sonic, Kirby, and Crash Bandicoot.
Good. All right, if I wanted to be a good daddy, what should I do?
You should do stuff right sometimes, but you don't have to do stuff right all the time, right?
Not all the time.
But everybody makes mistakes, but sometimes you'll make a mistake, right?
Yeah, I make mistakes sometimes. I actually make mistakes all the time. And I try to do a better job at it, but I have to realize that it's okay to make mistakes. That's good. That's actually really good. I wasn't realizing he was going to do that. Yeah, that's good. What does it feel like when Daddy hugs you?
It feels like good.
Like good?
Yes.
You want to get a hug right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it feels hard.
Yeah, because Daddy's so strong, right?
It feels squeezy.
It's squeezy.
I have a question for you. You ready?
Have a seat. Sit back. There you go.
So, what is the number one thing that Dad does for you on the weekend?
Speak right here.
So the number one thing, he lets me. So he lets me wake up
late.
he lets you wake up late.
But I woke up early this time because I was like the third or fourth person awake.
Okay.
Because I was awake before Avery.
Okay, that's awesome. And then one last question I have, right? So, right now, what is one thing that you want to tell your dad, right? Forget about the microphones, forget about the camera. What is the number one thing that makes you so happy that your dad does for you that doesn't involve video games? What makes you so happy that he always does for you?
Something that makes me so happy. Oh.
That Daddy does that you want me to keep doing.
I want you to keep getting me a game from GameStop, and I'll be so happy.
Oh man,
you got to do another one that doesn't involve games.
No games.
What about watching a show?
Okay. What kind of show do you want me to watch with you?
I want you to watch Mario Strikers with me.
It's always going to come back to
It's
Mario.
always going to come back to games. Yeah. But look, man, this was extremely good for me because I know I'm going to be able to keep this moment in my mind for a very long time. And like we talked about, it's all about moments, bro. It's all about being present and just spending some time with our kids. Even as I'm thinking about stepping away from the home and getting a chance to build a podcast and do all these different things. I've had this entire season. We've gone through from episode 1 to episode 10, and I've gained so many tokens, so many coins. But what I don't want to do is build something else that's going to take me outside of the house, away from my kids and spending time. So I wanted to bring you here today so that you can do that with me, and I appreciate you for being here, Azai.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Sony, I appreciate you for doing this full season with me, dog.
Yeah, man.
We're going to roll on to the next season. So for those who've been with us every single week, I appreciate you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Continue to pass and share this thing on. It's been an extremely good time.
And
We're going to
if
take
you
like
find
a...
us on TV, you can press up and then press up again and then look on our website.
Yes, you
We'll
can...
have episode number 10.
We'll have episode number 10, and it'll come out real soon. This is going to be good. Episode 10 is going to roll into season 2. We're going to do 1 week sabbatical, and then we'll get right back at it. You ready, Sony?
Ready,
Yeah.
man.
Let's do it. Say bye-bye.
Bye.